Information in terms of what people in the Northwest are expecting, and certainly the issue of service delivery quite high up when it comes to people in the Northwest. And no doubt that's probably what a lot of people would be saying in most of our provinces in the country. Let's go back then to Cape Town. I do believe that Samkele Maseko is on standby for us. Of course, a big team there with us, for us rather, there in Cape Town at the City Hall, where the State of the Nation address will be held this year. Very good afternoon to you, Samkele. Of course, we do know that all systems go, and security, no doubt, also being a major issue, given that the reason that the venues changed is because of a fire in Parliament. I see you standing in front of some barricade. What's happening there? Is there some form of protest? I'm seeing some banner. What's happening there?
Essentially, Flo, what is happening here is that there are protesters who are coming from Gugulethu, whom are saying that they were promised jobs by the Mayor, Gordon Hill Lewis. My colleague Atule Joko is also in the thick of things as the police try to defuse this situation. He will also be up and running any time from now to show you those visuals of these community members coming from Gugulethu, whom are essentially saying that they were promised jobs. They do not have jobs. They've come here to Parliament to picket and say that they are demanding those jobs. There is public order policing at this point in time, which speaks to the report of the High Panel of how public order policing needs to deal with these specific situations. They are trying to control these people of Gugulethu. Now we're here wanting jobs and also K-flats as well, and they are saying that Gugulethu walking bus, and they're saying, Mr. President, please can we have a few minutes of your time? Our mayor feel the safety of our kids is not important. I'm just going to bring in this specific resident here, ma'am, just to speak. Why are you here picketing today, and what do you feel your issues are not being addressed?
Who's going to speak?
Well, they are looking for people to speak. They don't want to speak for themselves, but there is their leader who's currently speaking there and addressing these community members, and also with the police. The line seems to have dropped as well, so they are being addressed and they are seemingly dispersing from this point in time. We are just going to ask them, can you please just call your leader for us just to come and speak to her? Just sorry, she spoke. Yes, ma'am. Just can we just speak, ma'am? Why are you here picketing? What? Can you just address us your name? And also, why are you here today? What are some of the issues you are experiencing?
Okay, I'm Vanessa. I'm one of the supervisors for the Cape Flats walking bus. I'm the elected spokesperson for the Cape Flats walking bus. We have a burning issue. We have been the walking bus, walking the kids to school and back, and we are the backbone for safety in our communities. We've been volunteers for many years, but there was a time when the city came to us and they accommodated us for plus minus a year with stipends, which was not much, but we were happy. Now the new mayor that was elected, Jordan Hill something. He came into our communities when it was election time, and he made it clear that he will endorse this walking bus, and he applauded this walking bus. Only for us to find out now that he is negative towards this walking bus. The mayor is talking about anything besides safety in the city of Cape Town, which we cannot allow at this point. We have gave him ultimatums. We engaged with Alan Windy and with him, and we made it clear, sir, to him that if they don't come back to us with an answer, we will attend the SONA tonight in a dignified manner, because Your Excellency is here and the National Ministers is here. Why tonight is the question. Why at the SONA? This is the only opportunity that the people of Cape Town will have to get all the ministers in one place at one time. So our appeal is to speak to the national ministers, to speak to Your Excellency, so that we can tell them what is making us unhappy, so that we can tell him how this mayor is abusing. He is a young boy, he doesn't have a clue, and he's coming here and he's messing up the city of Cape Town. We are tired of this party politics. We are apolitical, but no one can tell us we cannot speak to national government and to ministers in their official capacity. Thank you.
What have you resolved with the police? Are they dispersing you, or are you going to wait somewhere until you can have an opportunity to engage with His Excellency the President?
Now, the police, as you guys can all see here on national TV, that we are calm, we are peaceful. We cannot misbehave because we care for the safety of our citizens. The police is a bit of a disturbance. They have just confirmed now that they will take us to one space. They will go in and they will get us a communication of national government to come out to us. If here is someone, a DG or a minister or anyone in the office of Your Excellency standing here, please, you are listening to what we are saying. Please, we ask 5 minutes of someone's time to just come out and to speak to us. We can have a follow-up meeting and we will peacefully leave, but come listen to the people. Don't say you are here for the people, but when we hear you don't want to come out.
Thank you very much. As you can see, the public order policing also moving these residents whom have come here to picket and to show their grievances. But as well, we can see other leaders of other political parties as we move across. You can see the EFF leadership has arrived here in Parliament. You can see the Deputy President of the Economic Freedom Fighters, Floyd Nyiko Shivambu. We will try and also grab Mr. Shivambu. We did speak earlier on to the Secretary General of the EFF, that is Marshal Dlamini. They are signaling that their Deputy President Floyd Shivambu won't speak, but we will take our chances anyway. Mr. Shivambu, from an economic aspect, Mr. Shivambu, what are you anticipating that Mr. President of the country, Cyril Ramaphosa, will say tonight?
We're not anticipating anything from Cyril Ramaphosa because he has been telling so many lies and making so many commitments which are never fulfilled. You remember that when we first listened to the State of Nation address, we had made certain recommendations about creation of a sovereign wealth fund and a drive to have a labor-absorptive economy. And we made commitments, but none of those things have happened. There are so many commitments that have been made, summits after summits, promised with the understanding that jobs will be created. But things are just getting worse. So literally everything else under Cyril Ramaphosa is collapsing in this country. The economy is crumbling. The poverty levels are deepening. And in general, there's a crisis under him. The security sector is in tatters. Basically, everything else is not happening well. So we're not expecting anything because we know that Cyril Ramaphosa is not an honest person. He does not know what he's doing. He is not steering this ship towards a proper direction. So we just here, because we're members of parliament, to listen to lies again.
Mr. Shivambu,
will respond to him.
Mr. Shivambu, are you anticipating that they will finally implement the basic income grant, which his economic panel of experts have been divided upon?
I think that discussion should not just be reduced to the executive. Parliament has to engage itself in the discussions around the basic income grant. We need to start a parliamentary process of how do we introduce a basic income grant. And it must be meaningful grant, not at the 350 that has been introduced thus far. You'll remember that we had said at the beginning of the first lockdown and the enclosures of the country that if you want to meaningfully impact on the lives of the people, you cannot give people 350. It must be a significant amount so that you can get them to participate in the economy in a much more sustainable way. So we have to take a parliamentary process. We must not fold our arms and wait for the executive, because majority of the times the things that are done by the executives, they end up nowhere in terms of what happens. Remember in the past when they did a commission to introduce fee-free education, and what came out of that? Absolutely nothing. So we have to take a parliamentary process and ultimately end up with a Basic Income Grant Act so that it's law to then provide a basic income for all the people who otherwise are not getting jobs in South Africa currently.
Space is very limited inside the City Hall. Will the 44 Battalion of the EFF, all of them be inside this specific hall? And what are the contingency plans should the bouncers be there and ready for you to chuck you out like it happened in the National Assembly?
There's no one who's going to be checked out. We ultimately agreed with Parliament that instead of the 26 members of Parliament that Parliament had said must attend on behalf of the EFF, we'll have 38 members of the EFF who are members of Parliament. And we still have other representatives that are coming as part of the provincial delegation. So the number that we have is adequate to could listen to the State of Nation address, and later on we'll engage ourselves in a variety of other engagements.
You honorable and dishonorable members, some of you have been denied the red carpet. The two of you are accused of hitting individuals and assaulting them in the National Assembly. You have, for one, have a case going on. Are you happy that you're finally getting a chance not to walk on the red carpet?
I don't understand that question in terms of what you mean, and there's also no relationship between the red carpet and the accusations and everything else. And by the way, all those cases and allegations of assault are before the courts now, and we can assure you that there won't be any conviction because the state has not been able to give any meaningful presentation of their own allegations. So the question does not make sense, but let's respond to you. Yeah.
No, that's fine. That is Floyd Shivambu, the Deputy President of the Economic Freedom Fighters, as they are going in to the State of the Nation address. Some members of Parliament have already started arriving. Bongiwe and Vuyo, you can see the vehicles and the buses of dropping off members of Parliament. You can also see blue light convoys dropping off dignitaries. My colleague Natasha Piri will also be engaging with some of the members of Parliament as they arrive here in the National Assembly.